Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Irene Juma. And yes, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. So during the week, I read a story about a man called Gideon. It's in the book of Judges. And I just felt like I should share with you because as I was reading the word, it kind of resonated with my life. So we find the story of Gideon. It was in the times of where the Midianites were oppressing the Israelites. And at that time, it seems like there was no one to maybe fight for them, if I might say so. Yeah. So the angel appeared to Gideon, and this is how the angel referred to Gideon. He referred to Gideon as a man of valor. And downwards, we see that when God was talking to Gideon, Gideon told God that how can I be the one to save Israelites, and yet I come from the weakest clan, and in my father's house I am the least of them all. And so I kind of reflected on my life, and I realized that most of the times the way we picture ourselves is different with how God pictures us. Does it make sense if I say so? Like, God has a different view with the way we see ourselves. And so God saw Gideon as a man of valor, meaning he was courageous, he was brave to even fight or even to engage in the battles. And yet Gideon saw himself as the weakest and the least in his family. And so I want to encourage someone today that yes, you might see yourself as undeserving, you might think that you're weak, but God is seeing you beyond that. God is seeing a strong person. God is seeing a person who is able. And God is seeing a courageous person and a brave person. And also another thing that I learned is that God can choose anybody. It doesn't matter where you come from. God can still choose you. And even in our imperfections, God is still going to choose you. So if any moment you feel like you're so imperfect, any moment you look at your background and you're like, no, God can't use such a person. No, I want to tell you something different. If God used Gideon at that time, then he's still the same God, and he's able to even choose you, even in your imperfections and maybe everything you think that you're not. Sometimes, like now let's say in real life, we might be discouraged. Maybe there's that job that you want and you feel like, no, I can't get this job because maybe I'm not qualified. Or maybe you feel like you want to enroll yourself to some course, and maybe it's because you do not have maybe the finances or the resources. But God is seeing God is seeing it differently. If only you believe in him, and only if you trust in him. And one thing that I've come to realize, that God is faithful. Trust me if I tell you that God is faithful. I have seen him in my life. Like most of the times, I have seen him done things that if asked, I could never even think of it. And so I want to encourage someone today, and I want to encourage you, I want to encourage myself, that one, every time you feel you're discouraged, remember that God is faithful. He has never lied. He's not going to lie anytime soon. That's not his plan. He's never failing, and he's all loving. And also his promises are yes and amen. So as you continue to read the story, it says that God told Gideon that do not be afraid, I am going to be with you. And true to his words, God was with Gideon, and they fought the Midianites and they won. So I just want to encourage you this day that his words are right and truthful. Be blessed.